There's so much to digest in all of your presentations, which are so thoughtful and insightful and inspiring on many levels. I'm conscious of time because we are running sort of 15 minutes late, but maybe we could just briefly open up to the audience just for comment or questions about any of what you've heard so far. I mean, I'm particularly struck by the sort of political, social potency of choirs and what the function of them within society and the transformation of state and policy, which is invested in all of the work that we have seen here. But I just thought I'd open it up for 5 minutes even, just to see if there's any comments, questions.
No, I'm just wondering about, because a number of you have mentioned sort of what you might call heritage LGBT choirs, you know, the historical roots of them. And I was wondering, has there been a change in, for example, the programming of LGBT choirs as we move from sort of where the Stonewall era of protest to today's era, where, if, excuse me being crude here, but if you were to think of it sort of as bad arrangements to Stephen Sondheim, you know, being a wee bit flippant there, but has there been sort of a change in programming, and is that reflective of changing public attitudes, or what's the driver for that, if there has been a change in programming?
Would anyone like to take up
So yes, clearly there has been a change. As the conversation has progressed, there's been much more nuance and development in the way people approach music and the kinds of music that are performed. And we notice in pop music, for instance, that much more music is really around the idea of like community and about gender flexibility. The Pink Singers, you know, when they were formed in the 80s, they sang all the torch songs. And now it's songs like Rina Samayama and it's stuff that's much more contemporary and speaks to a more contemporary experience. I just also want to add that, you know, the heritage choirs are also really important. They speak to a very specific experience, and they speak to, like, the term LGBTQIA+ or queer is a very big umbrella term. And within that, there are many subsets of experience which are not the same. And there is definitely a space for an older gay men's chorus, because they have that connection. And as long as a wider community, we allow for that diversity, I think that's wonderful. Individual choirs cannot be everything to everyone.
A perfect point to say thank you so much, and we'll take a short break, have a cup of tea and reform and continue this wonderful debate. Thank you all.
Thank you.